All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have a lot to talk about, especially what's happening in the altcoin market. But first, before I say anything, I just want to give a huge shout out to you, everyone who's tuned in for the past week or so. This month in July has been insane. A ton of people have been stopping by to watch the videos, hitting the subscribe button and the like. So quick thank you to everyone that's been watching. It's been a lot of fun to make these videos. Now let's get to the market. Things are still really hot in the alt space. Just last week, Dogecoin was all the craze, right? It 2x'd, it caught mainstream's attention. You had people that never focus on crypto, whether they were on TikTok or Instagram, Forbes, Bloomberg, everyone was covering how crazy it was that a coin like Doge had pumped, right? Some of these alts haven't moved in years. But there's actually a trend that's been going on much longer, and I've talked about it a little bit on the channel. We're going to focus on it more today. And that group of coins is DeFi. These altcoins by far have been the best performers for the past couple months. I think they're going to continue to be the best performers. You have things like Compound, which ripped to $1 billion market cap. You have things like Lend, which has done almost 100x now. You have Link, which just ripped to new all-time highs. These coins are flying every single day, regardless of what Bitcoin or ETH or the rest of the crypto market does. Right now, money is being allocated to these DeFi altcoins. It's been the best performing group, and I actually think it will continue to be the best performing group. It has a really interesting aspect about it, and that's that mainstream attention is not yet on this thing. There are actually a lot of crypto investors who aren't in DeFi yet either. The reason being, it's not attracting mainstream interest. They're also not the easiest things to buy. A lot of these coins are unknown. Even the concepts are kind of hard to understand, but to acquire them is also quite difficult. Even people that want to get in, I think, have been hesitating because they're waiting for a full-blown alt season or for Bitcoin to rip. So you have a really unique trend happening here in crypto. It's incredibly exciting. It's the best performing group of coins. I think it continues to do very well. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the charts, looking at the ones that have performed best. And towards the end, I even have a sector which I think will help you get set up if you are looking to trade or invest in one of the hottest trends happening today. Stick around. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. All right, so check this out. Before I get into the video, I say this every single time, but I'm going to say it again. This is never buy or sell advice. I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm just covering what's happening in the market, what I'm doing to trade or speculate on that market, and use me as a resource, right? I want to be helpful to you. I do not want to be a buy or sell signal. Trade if that's what works for you. If you're just an investor, go ahead and ignore me. Buy some Bitcoin and ETH. I think you'll do pretty well. But for the traders and speculators, let's take a look at the charts. All right, so let's start with the charts. I'm going to show ETH first because really with every single alt cycle we've had or periods of times where altcoins did well versus Bitcoin, the one factor that usually was a hint that that was going to happen was major alts would do quite well. ETH always doing pretty well before those rallies. It happened in 2017. You can see ETH doing very well, beginning of 2017, obviously peaking towards the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, right? That's where Bitcoin topped out. And since then, right, ETH and everything else drops. Now, even in the short cycles we've had in 2018 and 2019, right, there was no true alt season. There weren't a lot of coins doing that. Certain coins actually will do quite well, right? I think Lend's probably the best proof. I'm going to go through some other ones that have done well, why I think this sector has legs, and different ways you can find that next play. I'm going to cover all that, but let's first look at Lend, right? From 2018, 2019, here's the depression. Exact same thing as ETH, exact same thing as ADA, Ripple, all those coins. Right, that changed in 2020, obviously, but I think the date that really changed was like June, July. Right, so I'm just going to mark right here, June 1st. From that point, the rise really accelerates. Right, this is when Compound and a lot of that hype, those coins hitting Coinbase started hitting the market. Right, this is when the DeFi, I think, hype picked up. And when I say DeFi, I mean decentralized finance. Most of those projects are on ETH, but it's this promise there's going to be a decentralized infrastructure that's facilitating loans in the market. There's going to but really, if starting in move, and I think as people want to get allocated, it's going to cause a lot of those coins in this group that haven't moved. People will have to allocate to those if they want exposure. So I want to end the video like this. I've given you two investors that I think are great to follow. Follow them on Twitter. I also gave you one link where you can sort these projects versus the rest of the market. That's going to give you already a pretty good filter and maybe a leg up ahead of other people that are still behind on finding these movers. The other site I want to point you to, and I've covered this on an old video, is DeFi Pulse. And it looks at the total value locked up, or the TVL, of these DeFi protocols. I'm building out a spreadsheet right now. I'll be sharing it in another video later this week. You want to subscribe and see that. We're going to be tracking, does TVL actually predict which coins will do better? What I mean by that is Compound has a ton of value locked up. They have a ton of ETH locked up, and it's probably the highest value DeFi project. You have coins like Kyber Network with a 7 million, 10 million locked up. It's done incredibly well. Lend, right? A lot of protocols, Loopring, have all this value locked up. Is that actually an indicator for which projects will do well? I'm going to rank that spreadsheet and I'm going to share it for you guys here on YouTube. So I check out DeFi Pulse.